Today we are going to be looking at the sewing machine I got out of storage and see if it still runs. We'll see. Hi, welcome to A Rumor of Stitches. My name is Janice and you can find me here on YouTube as A Rumor of Stitches, and you can find me on Facebook as A Rumor of Stitches, and now I actually have a Instagram account, Rumor of Stitches, as well. So today we're going to look at a sewing machine I got out of the storage shed. It's been in storage for 3 years. Let's take it out and see what's inside it. It's been taped up, so that's good. Maybe we won't find any critters in there. I don't know what else is inside of it. Looks pretty clean. Looks real nice. Okay. Here it is. Those off. And here it is. How cute. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to plug it up to see if it even works. It's been in the storage shed and I don't know what the heat and stuff would do to it, so let's plug it up. And that part works. Let's see. Alright, so far so good. Now let's take it apart and oil it. Okay, I have my essential tools here. I've got a little screwdriver to take off these screws. I've got a pair of tweezers just in case there's thread or anything in the mechanism that I need to take out, and I've got some oil to oil it with. And I don't know how much she used this machine, so I don't know how bad the insides are going to be with dust and stuff. Let's see what's in here first. This looks like it was packing. This looks like the little kit that came with it. Well, some of it anyway. Here's a spool of thread. These are the needles that came with it. Doesn't look like she's used any of these. This is the zipper foot. This is the little lint brush, which will keep this out, but it also has the seam ripper in there. So we'll keep this out just in case we need it to clean the machine. This is the throat plate cover for if you're darning. And this is actually the key for the screws in case you need to undo these screws, or the screw right here to do the needle. Any of these, that's what this is for. But since we have this one, and I like to use this one better, we're going to use this one instead. And then this is for these buttonholes. Let's put all this stuff away and we'll get to cleaning up the machine itself. I'm just going to put that over there for a minute. I'm going to take off this little foot right here, which just pops off. I'm going to take this throat plate cover off. It doesn't look like it's too bad dusty, but we'll take a look at that in just a sec. Let's take out the bobbin assembly. And you can see that's got a lot of dust on it from, I guess, the last thing that she sewed. So we're gonna clean that off here in a second. I'm gonna lay these on a piece of cloth so they don't get my mat oily while we're cleaning. Okay. Okay, here's a real good close-up of the throat. This is what's under the throat plate here. And I'm just gonna go in and clean out all of this dust and all of the fibers from, this is just what builds up, the lint is just what builds up when you're doing any kind of a project. That's why it's recommended that after you finish a project that you clean all of this out so that it doesn't build up and make your machine miss stitches, break threads. You know, it can do a lot of weird stuff if all this stuff builds up. And there's usually some kind of sensors or something in here that it messes up. I don't know what all's in this one because this was a $100 machine. It's a good starter machine. I love Singers. At the time I was working at Joann's and they had a really good deal for these machines. They had a really good rating. So that's all you have to do to mainly just to clean out the top. So then you come down to the bottom and you're going to do the same thing down here. You're going to get in all of these crevices and get all of this stuff out from under here. And once I get that done, I will show you about oiling it. Now, you really have to look back in through here to make sure that there's nothing that can get into these crevices in here and in here. And if you there is a couple of things that are up around here still under the throat plate, so I'm going to get out all of that and then I'll show you how to oil it. I have a little vacuum cleaner that I use for keyboards, but it doesn't look like I'm going to need it for this one because it doesn't look like it's been used a whole lot. As you can see, it's not really a lot dusty. It's just a little fuzzy from a project that she was working on, I guess. Just trying it out because I know she didn't have it very long before she left. And once we get it all cleaned up, when she decides that she wants it shipped to her, she can let me know and I'll send it to her. Okay, so we are really up close and personal with the bobbin carriage now because I want to show you in particular 2 places to oil on your bobbin carriage. Now, your machine may say don't oil it, so go off of your manufacturer's recommendations. You're supposed to take these in every couple of years to get them really good in service, but I've been dealing with sewing machines for over 30 years, so I'm pretty much on my own because I've never taken mine to a service center or had it serviced. Okay, so there are 2 places. There's one right here, and there's this little shelf right here that's underneath the bobbin. So I'm going to put 1 drop of oil here, 1 little drop of oil here, and that's it. That's all I'm going to be doing in here. And that is going to get lubricated as it runs. I'm going to run it for a few minutes. Okay, now that everything is clean, we're going to put the bobbin assembly back in. And there's really not a wrong way to do it because it only fits one way. So it's got a little shelf it fits on, and then it's got the cover that covers it here. Okay, so if you look right down here, there is a little notch that, this is the cover. And this little, oops, there's a little notch right here that fits into the little notch right down here. So there's really not a wrong way to put it in. If it fits, it fits. And so you can see it right there. There's the little notch right in there. And then you just clip this back in here. And there you go. That's all there is to it. Now it's back in there, and then you can put your bobbin back in. And it only fits one way too. It's got a little notch at the top, and it just goes pop in. Okay. Now I'm going to get all this grease off the outside. And now you can see all of that is cleaned up and ready to go. And you'll get a few little more fuzzies that you can just wipe out when you're done. But all that's ready to go, and it's all cleaned up and oiled. And all we have to do now is put the throat plate cover back on and put in the screws. Okay, there are two more places that if I was going to do a really deep cleaning, I would look at. And one of those places is underneath here. I would take off this plate here and see what was under there and see if I needed to clean any thread or anything out from under there. As well as there is a plate right here that just has one screw. And this right here is a place where a lot of your thread breakage is, and a lot of tangles of thread can hide. So we're going to take that off right quick and look in there and see if there's anything that's broken or needs to be cleaned, and maybe oil that part as well. Alright, we're going to take this end cap off, and there's a couple of things that you can do in here if you need to. First of all, this is where you would change your light bulb, and it's just a screw-in light bulb. You can get these anywhere. Another thing is you can check and see if there are any thread pieces that have gotten broken off and gotten stuck in the mechanism. And I don't see anything in there. You can also put a drop of oil here, and you can put a drop of oil back in through here. You don't have to. If you go and take it in for a service, they will do all that for you, but I just do it myself, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then close it back up, and it will be ready to go. Since we're working on this machine anyway, I thought I would go ahead and show you how to wind a bobbin and thread it. I have had some machines that didn't show you how to thread or wind a bobbin, and either you had to figure it out on your own or look in the user manual. So I think this one's neat that it actually shows you diagrams on top on how to do these, and it's even got 1, 2, 3, and they are colored in on how to wind the bobbin. And then you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 showing you how to thread it. So we're going to go through those right quick. First of all, we're going to wind the bobbin. You're going to put the thread on. The thread just goes through here. And 1, 2, and this one says that you are supposed to take your thread and put it up through this little hole. I've never done that, but for the sake of this demonstration, we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to do it this way, and then all you do is step on. Look at that. I'm going to go ahead and clip this little thread here off. We don't need that. That's good enough for demonstration purposes. We're going to take this. Just going to snip that right there. Okay. Now, alright, for this next part, we're going to unthread that part. We don't need that. We're going to do 1. This goes under this thread guide, behind this thread guide, down underneath, and when you get to here, you have to make sure that your needle position is all the way up so that this little bar right here is up. You go through that thread guide there, down here, and let me move the camera right quick. There is another thread guide right up here that if you lay it right across, it'll just fall down behind. Then you're just going to put your thread right in the hole and thread your needle just like that. And that's all there is to it. Now, as far as putting in the bobbin, you're going to take this off, open your door, pop out your bobbin case, and you're going to look at it like this. Now, when you put in your bobbin, you're going to make sure that when you pull your bobbin from this side, that it turns going that side. That means that it's going to sew correctly and it won't jam up. When you pull your thread from your bobbin, it should never turn the same way as you're pulling, because that will just cause a thread jam and cause all kinds of problems. So just like this, you're good to go. Pop it back in, and if you want to pull your thread up to the top, let down your needle, and when it comes back up, it will pull your thread up, and there you go. You're all ready. Okay, one more thing. When you are using your machine, let me raise this back up just a little bit, and you are turning this knob here, always turn it toward you. Don't turn it toward the back, always turn it toward you. That is how it rolls anyway. It does just like this. If you do it the other way, it's going to cause a thread jam. So always turn it toward you. The last little test before we go. Now we have to make sure that it's actually going to sew after we've done all the cleaning. You're going to put your fabric down. Put your presser foot down. Let's see. Thanks for joining me. My name is Janice. You have watched A Rumor of Stitches. If you like what you're watching and you want to follow along, just hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you want to be notified when a new video is coming out, just hit the bell. I do put out new videos every Wednesday. Alright, thanks. See you later.